I'm 88 years old. I've lived alone for 30 years. Completely alone. No partner. No roommate. No live-in family. And people always ask me the same question. Aren't you lonely? No, I'm not. I'm happier alone than most people are with someone. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. 5 secrets that changed everything. My name is Helen. I'm 88 years old. My husband, James, he died 30 years ago. I was 58. We'd been married for 35 years, and when he died, everyone expected me to fall apart, expected me to be miserable, expected me to be desperate for companionship. My kids said, "Mom, you should move in with one of us. You shouldn't be alone." My friends said, "Helen, you need to start dating again. You're too young to be alone." My sister said, "Come live with me. We'll keep each other company." And I said no to all of them because I didn't want company. I wanted to be alone. Not because I didn't love James. I did, deeply. But because for 35 years I'd lived my life around someone else. And I wanted to know who I was without him. So I stayed in my house, alone. And for 30 years, I've lived the most peaceful, fulfilling, joyful life I've ever lived. People don't understand it. They think I'm lonely. They think I'm sad. They think I'm missing out. But I'm not. I'm free. I'm peaceful. I'm exactly where I want to be. And I'm going to tell you the 5 secrets that made it possible. Because if you're alone, or if you're afraid of being alone, you need to hear this. Being alone isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace, if you know how. Secret number 1. I learned the difference between loneliness and being alone. Most people think they're the same thing. They're not. Loneliness is a feeling. Being alone is a circumstance. You can be alone and not be lonely. And you can be surrounded by people and be desperately lonely. I know, because I was lonely for most of my marriage. Not because James was a bad husband. He wasn't. He was a good man. But we grew apart, stopped talking, stopped connecting, lived in the same house like roommates. I'd sit across from him at dinner and feel completely alone. I'd lie next to him in bed and feel 1,000 miles away. That's loneliness. Being with someone and still feeling empty. When James died, I thought I'd be even more lonely. Thought the silence would kill me. But it didn't. Because I wasn't lonely anymore. I was just alone. And there's a difference. Being alone means I have silence. But it's peaceful silence, not empty silence. Being alone means I have space. But it's freeing space, not isolating space. Being alone means I have myself. And I like myself. I enjoy my own company. That's a secret most people don't understand. If you don't like yourself, being alone will be torture. Because you're stuck with someone you don't like. But if you do like yourself, being alone is a gift. I spent the first year after James died getting to know myself. Really know myself. What do I like? What do I want? What makes me happy? Not what made James happy. Not what my kids wanted. Not what society expected. What made me happy? And I discovered I liked quiet mornings, long walks, reading for hours, gardening, cooking exactly what I wanted to eat. I liked going to bed early, waking up early, having my own routine. I liked not having to compromise, not having to consider anyone else. I liked being alone. And once I realized that, I stopped being lonely. Because loneliness comes from wanting something you don't have. And I had everything I wanted. Myself. Secret number 2. I built a routine that I love. Not a routine I tolerate. Not a routine that passes the time. A routine I genuinely love. Most people who are alone, they just drift. They wake up whenever, eat whenever, do whatever, and they wonder why they feel empty. Because humans need structure. We need rhythm. We need something to look forward to. So, I built one. Every morning, I wake up at 6 a.m. Not because I have to, because I want to. I make my coffee, the good stuff, not instant. Real coffee that I grind myself. I sit on my porch and I watch the sun come up. Every single morning. That's my favorite part of the day. Just me, my coffee, and the sunrise. Then I read. For an hour. Sometimes the newspaper, sometimes a book, sometimes just the Bible. Then I have breakfast, something I actually want to eat, not what someone else wants. Then I take my walk. 2 miles, same route every day. I know every house, every tree, every neighbor. Then I come home and I work in my garden, or I clean, or I bake, or I do whatever needs doing. Lunch at noon, exactly noon, every day. Afternoon, I do something for myself. Maybe I read more. Maybe I watch a show I like. Maybe I call a friend. Dinner at 5:30, in bed by 8:30, asleep by 9. Every single day, the same routine. And people say, Helen, doesn't that get boring? No, it doesn't. Because it's mine. I chose it. Every part of it. And there's peace in that. There's joy in that. I'm not waiting for someone else to decide what we're doing. I'm not compromising. I'm not adjusting. I'm living exactly how I want to live. And that routine, that structure, it fills my days. It gives me purpose. It gives me something to look forward to. I wake up excited for my coffee and my sunrise. I look forward to my walk. I enjoy my quiet evenings. I'm not killing time. I'm living time. And that's the difference. Secret number 3. I cultivated real connections. Being alone doesn't mean being isolated. It doesn't mean having no one. It means being selective about who you let into your life. I have friends, good friends, real friends, but I don't have a lot of them, and I don't see them every day. I have my neighbor, Dorothy. She's 82. We have coffee every Tuesday morning, have been for 15 years. We talk about everything, our kids, our health, our lives, our fears. Real conversations, not small talk. I have my book club, 6 women. We meet once a month. We've been meeting for 20 years. We read, we discuss, we laugh, we share. I have my church. I go every Sunday. I know people there. They know me. Not close friends, but friendly faces, people who care. And that's enough. I don't need to be surrounded by people all the time. I don't need constant companionship, but I need connection, real connection, quality over quantity. My daughter-in-law, she's always busy, always running around, always with people, and she's exhausted and lonely because she has 100 acquaintances and no real friends. I have 5 real friends, and I'm never lonely because when I see them, it matters. When we talk, it's real. When we spend time together, it fills me up. And then I go home to my quiet house, to my peaceful routine, and I'm content. I don't need people around me all the time to prove I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone because I have real connections, and I have myself. Secret number 4. I found purpose outside of relationships. For 35 years, my purpose was being a wife, being a mother, taking care of James, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. My whole identity was wrapped up in other people. And when James died, when the kids grew up and moved away, I thought I'd lost my purpose. But I hadn't. I'd just lost the purpose I'd been given. So, I found my own. I started volunteering at the library. Twice a week. I help with the children's reading program. I read to kids. I help them pick out books. I watch them fall in love with stories. And it fills me up, gives me something to look forward to, gives me a reason to get up and get dressed and leave the house. I started a garden, a real garden. Vegetables, flowers, herbs. I spend hours out there, planting, weeding, watering, watching things grow. And when I harvest tomatoes or peppers or zucchini, I feel accomplished. I feel useful. I started learning things I never had time for when I was busy taking care of everyone else. I learned to paint. Not well, but I enjoy it. I learned to play piano. Just simple songs, but it makes me happy. I learned to bake bread, real bread, from scratch. These things, they give me purpose. They give me identity outside of being someone's wife or someone's mother. I'm Helen. I'm a volunteer. I'm a gardener. I'm a painter. I'm a baker. I'm not just someone's something. I'm my own person. And that purpose, that identity, it keeps me from being lonely. Because I'm not sitting around waiting for someone to give my life meaning. I'm creating meaning every single day. Secret number 5. And this is the most important one. I embrace the silence. Most people are terrified of silence. They fill every moment with noise, TV, radio, music, podcasts, phone calls, anything to avoid being alone with their thoughts. But I learned to love the silence. When James first died, the silence was deafening. The house felt too quiet, too empty. I'd turn on the TV just to hear voices, just to fill the space. But slowly, I started turning it off, started sitting in the quiet. And I started hearing things I'd never heard before. The birds outside my window, the wind in the trees, the creak of the house settling. My own thoughts, my own breath, my own heartbeat. And it wasn't scary. It was peaceful. Now, I spend hours in silence, just sitting, just being, not meditating, not praying, just existing. And in that silence, I found something most people never find: peace, real peace, not the absence of noise, the presence of calm. I don't need constant stimulation. I don't need constant distraction. I can sit with myself, with my thoughts, with my memories. And I'm okay. Most people can't do that. They're so afraid of what they'll find in the silence that they never stop long enough to listen. But I did. And what I found was myself, the real me. Not the me I was for James. Not the me I was for my kids. Just me. And I like her. I enjoy her company. So I don't need to fill the silence anymore. I don't need to run from it. I embrace it. I welcome it. I live in it. And that's why I'm not lonely. Because I'm never really alone. I have myself. And I like the company. Here's what people don't understand about living alone. They think it's sad. They think it's something you settle for when you can't find someone. But it's not. Living alone is a choice. A good choice. It's not for everyone. Some people need companionship, need partnership, need someone else to feel complete. And that's fine. But I don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not lonely. I'm not sad. I'm not missing out. I'm living exactly the life I want to live. I wake up when I want. I eat what I want. I do what I want. I don't have to compromise. Don't have to negotiate. Don't have to consider anyone else. That's not selfish. That's freedom. I spent 35 years living for other people. And I don't regret it. I love James. I love my kids. But now, I'm living for me. And I've never been happier. My kids worry about me. They say, "Mom, what if something happens? What if you fall? What if you need help?" And I say, "Then I'll call you. Or I'll call 911. Or I'll figure it out. Because I'm 88 years old. And I'm not afraid of being alone. I'm afraid of giving up my freedom, my peace, my life. For what? For companionship I don't need? For security I don't want? No, thank you. I'll take my quiet house, my morning coffee, my garden, my books, my routine. I'll take my life exactly as it is, alone and happy. I'm 88 years old. I've lived alone for 30 years, and I've never felt lonely, not because I'm special, not because I'm different, because I learned 5 secrets. I learned the difference between loneliness and being alone. I built a routine I love. I cultivated real connections. I found purpose outside of relationships, and I embraced the silence. If you're alone, or if you're afraid of being alone, don't be. Being alone can be the most peaceful, fulfilling, joyful experience of your life. If you let it, stop running from it. Stop filling every moment with noise and distraction. Embrace it. Build a life you love. Find yourself in the silence. And you'll discover what I discovered 30 years ago. You don't need someone else to be happy. You just need yourself. And that's enough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a garden to tend to, and the quiet is calling me home.